Okay, people, we're back. Manners respect, as usual. Make we get the party started. Right, people? Right, people. So, it's another educational program that we're on. Each one teach one how to be better. People, you see the situation we're in right now? It's so amazing. Why I say that? It's because we have the opportunity to do anything that we want to do. Because the people then before we did their very best. People then before we did them very best and prove say them very best is worth something. I tell you, it's supposed to be Black History Month, but Black History Month is not supposed to be highlighted by other people. It's supposed to be highlighted by we. But me no see no highlight from we. I don't see it coming like so we forget about that, you know. It's like so we forget about the important things them. It's crazy. So the things that matter to we don't make it matter. That are the truth. The things that matter to we doesn't matter. Some of them on YouTube I may got you like channels and stuff like that, and I link up I find this channel and it said Echoes of History. I go up on the channel and I tell you say in 10 minutes the amount of stuff where I learn. It's amazing. I am keep on being amazed by the amount of information that's out there for us to better ourselves. How much information out there to educate we. And we choose none of that. And now I say that's all we have to choose, you know. But the very fact say it's available for us to choose. And we not choose none. We don't choose the stuff for better we. We choose all of the negative stuff. People. If we don't look out for ourselves, who's gonna look out for us? That one of the thing I always look upon, you know. How it's so important for other people look about them history, and it's not important to we for look about with history. I'm not saying it's just on it's not through history, it's too rich to be ignored. So I not just it's not on one person for looking at in our history and find out how great we is. It's for all of us. But I say everywhere you look there's nobody in a sense the people them will have the power to do the things them where them supposed to do. For educate, for uplift. Nobody now pay attention to that, you know. Nobody's paying attention to the important stuff then. We need more people. We are putting in the work for a better culture. Anyways, people, we just have to do our part, right? And that's what I'm doing. That's why I say if you don't love it, don't do it. But if you love it, keep on doing it. Tonight, I pick Nanny of the Maroons. Nanny of the Maroons. And put Nanny on the $500 Jamaican note. I don't know what the purpose, cause the Jamaican $500 a $5. That's pretty much what it's worth. But you know, things we do, it's barely. It's barely you can call it, but people accept it. Anyways, Queen Nanny, Granny Nanny, or Nanny of the Maroons, 1686 to 1760. Was an early 18th century freedom fighter and leader of the Jamaican Maroons. She led a community of formerly enslaved escapees, the majority of them West Africans in descent, called the Windward Maroons, along with their children and families. At the beginning of the 18th century, under the leadership of Nanny, the Windward Maroons fought a guerrilla war lasting many years against British authorities in the colony of Jamaica, in what became known as the First Maroon War. Much of what is known about Nanny comes from oral history, as little textual evidence exists. According to Maroon legend, Queen Nanny was born in 1686 and was an Ashanti from Ashanti-man who was taken into slavery by the British. During the years of warfare, the British suffered significant losses in their encounter with the Windward Maroons of eastern Jamaica. Maroons attributed their success against the British to the successful use of supernatural powers by Nanny, which historians believe that the Maroons' mastery of guerrilla warfare and vast knowledge of the natural terrain played a significant role in their success. Having failed to defeat them on the battlefield, the British sued the Maroons for peace. Me not understand this. Having failed to defeat them on the battlefield, the British sued the Maroons for peace, signing a treaty with them on 20th of April 1740. The treaty stopped the hostilities provided state-sanctioned freedom for the Maroons and granted 500-acre, 202 hectare of land to Nanny and her followers. The village built through that land grant still stands and is called Moortown. Okay. Or the New Nanny Town. Modern members of Moortown celebrate 20th April 1740 as a holiday, known informally in place today as 420 or 420. Okay. And this I didn't get the weed celebration from. I'm gonna tell you. For history. Okay. And so much people celebrate 420 and I know what it mean. Wow. In 1975, the government of Jamaica declared Nanny their only female national hero. By celebrating her success as a leader, her image is printed on the Jamaican $500 note, which is referred to as a nanny. The origin of Nanny. According to a Maroon legend, espoused by the Maroon of Accompong town, Nanny was born into the Asante people of modern day Ghana. Okay. According to several Maroon colonels, her mother's name is Nayapong. It is possible that this figure was the founder of Oyoko clan. Aniwa Nyam. As Anakopong as a Nakopong is another name for Nyam. And the name Nyam is paired with Antiwa. It's Antiwaa. Antiwa. In other words, she is a relative of the Ashanti ruling class of the Oyoko clan. She and her brother's name was also Akompong, and both Akompong and Aniwa are Ashanti rooted names, no other Akan as. The notion that there are several versions of her early story stems from the fact that Maroons, like most Africans, defy their ancestors and use them as characters in folk tales. She is often the subject of many Maroon stories, and therefore there are numerous origin stories. In one Maroon story, Nanny came to Jamaica as a slave but then escaped, perhaps even jumping off of the ship while it was offshore, while her sister Sekasu was enslaved. The legend states that Queen Nanny became mother of all Maroons, and her sister Sekasu became mother of all enslaved in Jamaica. The oral traditions about her arrival in Jamaica maintain that she was always free, while Kesu eventually died free in the mountains with Nani. And me never hear no story about Nani's sister or brother before. So I don't know if but again she did die young. Nani was the hero. According to one Maroon legend, Nani's name was also Sarah Matilda Rowe. Me and Nani in the Rowe before, you know. But that has not been verified. The Rowe family of Jamaica claim direct descendant from Nani. According to oral history, her second husband was named Swipplemento, later known by the Anglicized name of Rose Harris. By the Anglicized name of Rose Harris. I know the Harris them, you know. Affectionately called Pa Rose, then Paro. Queen Nanny was known as Shanty Rose or Maro. Oral tradition states that Ro eventually became angelized as Ro. Oh no, Anglicized. 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 Anglicized as Ro. Though many Maroons of the late 18th century changed their African names for European ones as they converted to Christianity. Alright, so what were they before them become Christian? At that, me not understand, you know. Converted. You hear the word con again? Maroon legend states that Nani was known to have gone by the name Sarah and sometimes Matilda. Oral history states that she had 3 children with Swimplemento. 2 sons, Kojo Ro and Ampong Ro, and a daughter called Nani as well. But me not hear no history about Nani kids or nothing. And that me I tell you, oh, everything is just all of the information we get, it's usually vague information. It's never information, so we can say, okay, we agree with that. Manners and respect. Rumba. After being brought to Jamaica in the course, the Jamaican Maroons. The Maroons are descendants of West Africans, mainly people from Akan. They are known as Coromantee or Coromantee and were considered ferocious fighters. A number of the enslaved originated from other regions of Africa, included Nigeria, the Congo, and Madagascar. However, at least half of the enslaved African people in Jamaica during the early English colonization of the island was also Ashanti in origin, as shown in maternal genetics, linguistics, and cultural evidence. After being brought to Jamaica in the course of the transatlantic slave trade, many enslaved Africans fled from the oppressive conditions of plantation and formed their own communities of free black people in Jamaica, in the rugged, hilly interior of the island. People who escaped from slavery joined these Maroons communities in the mountains of eastern Jamaica, or the cockpit country in the west of the island. Up to the 1650s, under Spanish rule, enslaved Africans escaped and intermarried with the native islanders, the Taino or Ararak, in their communities in the Blue Mountain located in Portland Parish and St. Thomas Parish in the eastern end of the island. So, you see them keep on talking, say, everybody will come at Jamaica will come as slave. But native islanders, the Taínos or the Ararak, was there. Many Maroons were escaped slaves who ran away from their Spanish-owned plantation when the British took the Caribbean island of Jamaica from Spain in 1655. However, many modern-day Maroons believe that the Maroons of Nannytown belong to a separate group that existed in the mountains prior to 1655. They state that Queen Nanny's Maroons date back to the Taínos fleeing to the Blue Mountain when the Spaniards first arrived in Jamaica. Maroon oral history maintains that her family arrived in 1640 and joined the existing Maroons, whose community allegedly existed about 150 years before the Spanish fled Jamaica. So you see, sometimes when them people write them things, I know you can't really sure where them say, cause them people, enough of them people I couldn't read, right? So it's kind of some of the information where them I give it is vague. Okay, the Windward Maroons. In 1655, following the invasion of Jamaica, the English captured Jamaica from the Spaniards. But many Spanish slaves became free under the Spanish Maroons, leaders such as Juan de Bolas. Excuse. Drink some water. Okay. And Juan de Ceras. The Spanish left, freeing their slaves in the process, and they joined the Windward Maroons communities. These formerly enslaved people with their ranks enhanced with escaped and liberated slaves became the core of the Windward Maroons. They staged a prolonged fight against English subjugation and enslavement. Later in the 17th century, more slaves escaped, joining the two bands of Windward and Leeward Maroons. By the early 1800s, these Maroons towns were headed respectively by Nanny, who shared the leadership of the Eastern Maroons with Kojo and Captain Kojo, and Akompong in the west. Koako, Maroons with Koako and Captain Kojo, and Akompong in the west. The Windward Maroons fought the British on the east side of the island from their villages in the Blue Mountain of Portland. The community raised animals, hunted, and grew crops. Here, the people them raise animals, hunt, and grow crops. So the tradition of we planting, all of them things that I say it's in us, and we not do it, you know. And I like say something where we have it for like a certain age and then we lose it. No. All of these ability where we have it, where we had before, where we have to put in action. Every skills where we have to put in action. Right? We had to learn how to use the skills to survive in our time when the hunger friend we have at each other. Right? I tell you, we come far to separation, you know. We have come a far way to separation. Because how we used to to actually look out for each other and care for each other. Right? They all used to look out for each other and care for each other. When life did have meaning, substance. And that me tell you say, all people nowadays just fixated upon money. Them just want money, money, money. The only thing can save them is the only thing can, the only thing what they want is money. And money can't save them. Right? Money can't save them. Because it's not money that they need. We are money, me always say that. Each and every one of us have the energy and the ability to make money. Right? We just need opportunity, you know. The only thing is missing that we have no control over is the opportunity. But given the opportunity, we have the skills to do anything what we want to do. And we not do it. The community raised animals, hunted and grew crops. Maroon at Nannytown and similar communities survived by sending traders to the nearby market town to exchange food for weapons and clothes. It was organized very much like a typical Asante society in Africa. You see, the same thing I know say me a preaching about, me just a say. Right? The things them what we used to do together and how we separated now and we become each other enemy. From 1655 until they signed peace treaties in 1739 and 1740, these Maroons led most of the slave rebellion in Jamaica, helping to free slaves from the plantations. They raided and then damaged lands and buildings held by plantation owners. The Maroons were also known for raiding plantations of weapons and food, burning the plantations and leading free slaves to join their mountain communities. Nanny was highly successful at organizing plans to free slaves. During a period of 30 years, she was credited with freeing more than 1,000 slaves and helping them to resettle in the Maroon community. So that's how we used to look out for each other. We used to care for each other in a certain type of way. We don't care about each other now. When I say everybody turn doctor, then just want to see one accident so they can come pronounce them backs up. At that we become. That's why I say I don't want to be part of them things that where it's for me to destroy the people them around me. It's for me to cheat the people them who look like me. Me nah say cheating is good for anybody, but just the fact say a matter say uno choose to cheat the people them who look like uno. It's sad. The very first Maroon War. By 1720, Nani and Kwaku, sometimes called her brother, settled and controlled an area in the Blue Mountain. It was later given the name Nannytown, and it had a strategic location. Yes. Strategic location overlooking Stony River via 900-foot ridge, making a surprise attack by the British very difficult. Nanny became a folk hero among the Maroons and the slaves. While the British captured Nannytown on more than one occasion, they were unable to hold onto it. they can't take it, but they can't hold on to it because of fire. Eh? In the wake of numerous guerrilla attacks from the Maroons waged a successful war against the British colonial forces over a course of a decade. When Nannytown was abandoned, the Wynyard Maroons under the command of Nanny moved to New Nannytown. Between 1728 and 1734. During the First Maroon War, Nannytown and other Maroon settlements were frequently attacked by British colonial forces. They wanted to stop the raids and believed that the Maroons prevented settlements of the interior. According to some accounts, in 1733, many Maroons of Nannytown traveled across the island to unite with the Leeward Maroons. In 1734, a Captain Stoddart attacked the remnants of Nannytown, situated on one of the highest mountains in the island, by the only path available. He found it steep, rocky, and difficult, and not wide enough to admit the passage of two persons abreast. In addition to the use of the ravine, resembling what Jamaicans call a cockpit, the Maroons also used decoys to trick the British into ambushes. A few Maroons I say them people are not easy, you know. I say the greatness of we, man. I have to laugh sometimes. A few Maroons would run out into view of the British and then run into the direction of fellow Maroons who were hidden and would attack. After falling into these ambushes several times, this is the art of war, may I tell you. Oh my goodness. I tell you, so anytime we serious, you know. Anytime we serious. And that me say, enough things are going because the people them is not serious. The British retaliated. According to planter Brian Edwards, who wrote his narrative half a century later, Captain Stoddart found the huts in which the Negroes were asleep and fired upon them so briskly that many were slain in their habitations. However, recent evidence shows that the number of Windward Maroons killed by Stoddart in his attack on Nannytown was in single digits. You see, the story always changes and they write it. Military tactics. The Windward Maroons succeeded against a much superior and better armed enemy. One of their advantage over the British was their long-range communication capability. They pioneered the use of cow horns called the abeng. This horn with a hole drilled in one end was used for long-range communications. Its signals allowed Maroon lookouts to communicate over great distance. And they were not understood by the British, who had no similar communication capability. No, sir. Geniuses. We tell you, say, even then we are genius, you know. I guess we have to be in some dire situation for we decide so we are going to come out of this. That's why I'm going to tell you, say, all them people can just give all of them power to politicians. Just lie down there and say, oh, the politician are going to feed me. The politician are going to close me. The politician are going to take care of me. I keep on saying, other than Burkina Faso and the two countries them in Africa where I do for the people them, I don't see no leaders around the world where I do for them people like what they're getting paid to do. No, I don't see it. That's why I say until people realize it, it's better to unite, put with differences, whatever differences a person can have with the next person, and them in the same boat. The Windward Maroons were innovators in guerrilla warfare. Okay, I missed a chapter. A verse. Nani's troops were masters of camouflage. The soldiers were so proficient at disguising their location that the British would circulate tales of trees in the forest becoming alive and cutting one's head off. Beside the physical aspect of camouflage, the Maroons became expert in slowing their breathing so as not to reveal their presence to someone in their vicinity. The Maroons also developed ways of creating stealthy fires that are not readily visible. The Windward Maroons were innovators in guerrilla warfare. They used surprise, the knowledge of the terrain, and cleverly choosing positions in their fight against the British. Their village was located in rugged territory with only one way in. That one way was a narrow path that was only wide enough for one person. Soldiers trying to attack arrayed in a single file were easily ambushed. To heighten the enemy's fear, Nani's forces never kill all of the attacking forces. Should always allow a remnant to live to return to base to relay the story and horror of the encounter. Psychological warfare. Let me say, we just become so complacent in our very existence. When the British signed a treaty with Shungudzo in 1739, this success allowed them to offer a less favorable treaty to the Windward Maroons. Representatives of the British governor in Jamaica signed a treaty with the Windward Maroons in 1740. Between the colonial authorities and Kwaku, who later became one of the leaders of Crawfordstown, this treaty between the colonial authorities and Kwaku Maroons made no mention of how much land would be allocated to Crawfordstown. As a result, a number of disputes occurred between planters and the Maroons of Crawfordstown, and later the succeeding town of Charlestown and Scots Hall. In response, the Assembly of Jamaica often tried to resolve the land disputes in favor of the Maroons to keep the peace. In addition, later that year, there was a separate land grant signed with Nani and the Maroons of Nannytown, which granted Nani and the people now residing with her and their heirs a certain parcel of lands containing 500 acres in parish of Portland. This land pattern consisted of 500 acres of land granted by the government to the Maroons of New Nannytown under a separate 1740 document ending in the First Maroon War. The rebuilt Nannytown, later called Moortown, was built on that location. In 1781, the Assembly agreed to purchase another additional 500 acres from neighboring planter Charles Douglas to increase Moortown's communal land to 1,000 acres. The new Nannytown Maroons, like those of Shungudzo and Kwaku, agreed not to harbor new runaway slaves but to help catch them for bounties. The new Nannytown Maroons, like those of Shungudzo and Kwaku, agreed not to harbor new runaway slaves but to help catch them for bounties. So Shungudzo and Kwaku did start work for the British then. The Maroons were also expected to fight for the British in the case of an attack from the French or Spanish. In signing treaties with the Maroons, the slaves, the colonial authorities initially recognized two Maroon towns, Crawfordstown and Kojostown, later to be renamed Trelawney Town. Eventually, there were 5 Maroon towns in the 18th century: a compound town, Trelawney Town, Charlestown, and Scotts Hall, and Nanny Town, later Moortown. Living under their own chiefs with a British supervisor in Easttown. In exchange, they agreed not to harbor new runaway slaves, but to help catch them for bounties. Imagine that. You get your freedom. Them people make a treaty and them agreed not to harbor new runaway slaves, but to help catch them for bounties. So the same issue them did have Africa, the same issue them bring come to Jamaica. Moortown and Takis War. Okay, New Nanny Town was renamed Moortown, possibly, you see, in the 1760s. After the governor, Sir Henry Moore, first Baronet, during Takis War, which the Maroons helped to suppress. The first official reference to Moortown in the colonial records was in 1760. By 1760, New Nannytown, known as Moortown, was under the command of a white superintendent named Charles Swingle, and the Maroon leader of that town, Clash Ensemble, report to Swingle. When the superintendent commanded their forces against slave rebels in Takis War, it is possible that Nanny had already died by this time. Many in our community attributed Nanny's leadership skills to her Obia powers. Obia is an African-derived religion that is still practiced in Suriname, Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, Ghana, Barbados, Belize, and other Caribbean countries. It is associated with both good and bad magic, charms, luck, and with mysticism in general. So what about the advance? In some Caribbean nations, aspects of Govere have survived through synthesis with Christian symbolism and practice introduced by European colonials and slave owners. According to Maroon oral history, Nanny's success in defending her people against the colonial forces was often attributed to her mysterious and supernatural powers. According to legend, Nanny had magical powers and could catch bullets and then redirect them back at the people who shot at her. Another Maroon legend claims that if any straight-haired white man goes to the original Nanny Town, he is immediately struck dead. In the Journal of the Assembly of Jamaica, 29-30 March 1733, is a citation of resolution, bravery, and fidelity awarded to loyal slaves. Under the command of Captain Sambo, namely William Coffey, who was rewarded for having fought the Maroons in the First Maroon War and was called a very good party Negro. having killed Nani, the rebels' old Obia woman. These Irish soldiers are known as black shots. However, it is unlikely that Coffee killed the Nani who ran Nani Town, since there is evidence Moortown was granted to her people under her leadership in 1740. So, all them kill her in a 1733. Some claim that Queen Nanny lived to be an old woman dying of natural cause in the 1760s. The exact date of her death remains a mystery. Part of the confusion is that Nanny is an honorific title, and many high-ranking women were called that in Maroon Town. However, the Maroons are adamant that there was only one Queen Nanny. According to Maroon oral history, Nanny remains are buried at Bump Grave in Moortown. Again, the time I go through these are just introduction to our heroes, right? I am gonna do part 2 and see, find out as much information as I can before I can give out information, more information, because this is encyclopedia. I get the information them from. The government of accolades. Nanny is celebrated in Jamaica and abroad. The government of Jamaica declared Queen Nanny a national hero in 1975. Colonel C.L.G. Harris of Moortown, then a senator in Jamaica's upper house, was the driving force behind the move to recognize Nanny as a national heroine. Her portrait is featured on the 500 Jamaican dollar bill, which is colloquially referred to as a Nanny. Nanny is celebrated every October on Jamaican National Heroes Day. Nanny's monument is located in Moortown, Portland, Jamaica. Nannyville Garden, a residential community located in Kingston, Jamaica, was founded in 1977 and named after her. The Gilder Leatherman Center for the Study of Slavery Resistance and Abolition at Yale University in the United States used Nanny's portrait in its logo. The center sponsors research and conferences on slavery in the Americas. A ship in the Jamaica Defense Force Coast Guard is named after Nanny. HMJS Nanny of the Maroons. So this is just a slight abbreviation on one of our national heroes. So we have so much people, we can go through years and years and find people who is just so amazing, or we can highlight and say represent. This is one of them. And as a Jamaican, I tell you, say, these are the things we are supposed to be highlighting. That's why I say, now me have them things and I can read and I can turn on my tape and tape record the history where we forget. That's what I'm gonna do. Them people I need to get highlight. These are the people we're supposed to rep. Them are we supposed to up on a t-shirt. Them people are we supposed to promote. Them supposed to have like in every class them have like a study. You can't go through school and get like 10 courses of with history and the people them will make a difference in a society. Because the thing about it, you see them people here, these people not just make a difference in the black community, but overall in a society. Them say them use our picture in a Yale. So overall in a society, that's why I'm saying I want to do I'm gonna do one pan the inventions them that we invent. I tell you, so from you go to great people, to great things, to great I said the YouTube channel I did I listen to, right? The very fact say Black History Month, these are what's supposed to be around on every channel. The channel called Hidden Heroes and Untold Stories. Right? Me just I flip through YouTube and I see it and somebody I tell you me just start write, just like one night me just start write and I tell you I go research some of the people them where him did that talk about tonight. A matter of fact, let me see. I tell you there's so much history of us. How comes we what's stopping us from being proud of the heroes them what we have? And the heroes them what we have is so amazing. Them stories it's so captivating, it's like you watch a movie with them people, all them people are great. And I know that you want to learn about. I cannot ignore these things. So even when I listen to the show and the B.S. Reeves was one of the first African American deputy U.S. Marshal west of the Mississippi River, mostly working in deadly Indian territory. The region was saturated with horse thief, castle rustlers, and gunslingers. People, and that me I go talk about. And that me I talk about. Of history from people who make a difference. Me I tell you this someone is. I tell you the people them where we are ignore the greatness. The greatness, man. That's why I'm saying the information then just overpower me now because there's so much. Not say overpower me, but left, right, and center. Me I look and me just see it's like, my gosh, we do this, we do that. Look, what me say? I respect each and every race out there. Understand that? You know understand what I say? I respect every race out there because every race, right? Every culture have them good and them bad. Okay? So me respect every race and every culture out there, but me not respect no race and culture over mine. I respect who I am. I respect where I come from. Yes? That's respect, people. What me say? Within my culture, me have enough hero. I never have to look outside my culture to say, okay, me I go pick up Superman and Superman I go be my hero. When me have Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, me have Jackie Robinson, me have so much people. Why would I leave out them people here? Louise Bennett. Why would I want to leave out them people here and go promote Elijah Muhammad? Huh? Any one of them name here, any one of them people here. Nani. W.E.B. Du Bois. Huh? When me look upon them people here story, it's sweet. These people's story is so real. It's amazing. So this is why I say me rather indulge in a these stuff, and hopefully the next generation can understand what it means to be part of the journey, part of the community of unlimited beings. Because that's who we are. Unlimited ability is real. Eh? That's why I have to focus on them things here. Because these things are so important to me. These people are so important to me. So why wouldn't they be important to you? You come from a different culture. This a culture not good enough for you? Well, people, I am loving these. I love them things here. And it not me not stop highlight them people here. Because these people are really worth the highlight. I want to thank them people here. They be part of my ancestor. People. I thank you for it. No time passing through. If you say hi, what's up? Now continue the journey, because you see, if we not continue the journey, nobody not continue it for us. So once them take away the date them where them say them are dedicated to us and to our peoples and all of them stuff there, and then take it back. We still have us. We still have we and we history. People, it's absolutely freezing outside. So anyone of them are telling you to stay warm. Big up on a nice clean self. Always manners, respect. Manners, respect. Me can't leave it, you know. Manners, respect. That me have to love.